Hey there, fellow entrepreneurs. I'm Sue, and you've just stepped into Entrepreneurs Gone Wild. Every week, I'll introduce you to a friend of mine, a remarkable entrepreneur who's not just changing the world, but also harnessing a secret weapon, time outdoors. Together, we'll dive into their journey, unpack invaluable business advice, and discover why embracing the wild is not just good for the soul, but also a goldmine for inspiration and innovation. Ready to uncover the secret that's boosting bottom lines and fueling joy? Hit subscribe and join us in the wild. Hey, welcome back to Entrepreneurs Gone Wild. Today, I've got Deborah Deras, and she's calling in from Ventura, California. We've just had a very nice little conversation. I can't wait for you to hear about the thing that she does outside. So cool. But Deborah helps people tap into synergy, that sweet spot where peak performance, cutting edge AI, and real world strategies meet. Whether she's training educators and entrepreneurs to leverage AI for growth, guiding corporate teams through burnout recovery, or helping emerging leaders own the stage, Deborah's mission is the same. She helps people perform at their highest level with more ease and less stress. Her works blend tech, mindset, and communication mastery so that success isn't just possible, it's sustainable. If you've ever wondered how to get more done without running yourself into the ground, this conversation might open up some very new doors for you. Deborah, welcome to Entrepreneurs Gone Wild.
Oh, I love that. I love the way that sounded.
You can clip it and use it.
I love it. It just sounds so soothing coming from your voice with all the lavender and the peacefulness of it. I'm like, yes.
I love it. I love it. That's so great. Well, let's start with that first question that I always ask, and we dive a little deeper. Tell me more about these people that you're serving and what problem are you helping them solve?
Well, I serve busy professionals, both corporate people who are entrepreneurs, they're visionary, but they're working for a company, and also entrepreneurs where they're starting their own business or they have a startup idea and they have the illusion or the idea that they need to suffer and sacrifice and hustle to be successful. And I teach them a better way to have success with ease and grace.
I love that. I love that so much. So I shared briefly, but I 17 years in my first business, and I didn't go outside, and I thought that was just how you were supposed to have a business. Like coming up, that was the hustle bros were the only thing out there that were speaking to how you work. So I would imagine these people who are coming to you, what are they saying a lot when they finally reach up on your doorstep and they're like, I'm burnt, I'm exhausted, I can't do it anymore. Well, what kinds of things are they saying like that?
Yeah. And during the pandemic, I worked with a lot of doctors.
Oh.
And I still do work with doctors, dentists, people that really serve people. It's really challenging when you're shifting your paradigm and your mindset, because the limiting belief that our culture has is no pain, no gain, the illusion that activity is productivity. And like you said, I never heard that term before, the hustle bros, when you say, 4-hour work week, let's sleep when we're dead. And I was like,
yeah.
No, you know what? I don't want to sleep when I'm dead. I want to sleep now.
Yes.
And I felt honestly that I was being lazy until one day when I was 26 years old, I ended up in the hospital because of my burnout. And I remember my dad looking at me and laying in the bed, and they were like, oh, you burnt out your adrenal glands. That's what's wrong with you. And my dad's like, because at the root cause of it, I felt like I needed to prove something to my dad or to earn my worthiness.
Oh.
And my dad said, you do not, that was the root for me. You don't need to do anything to prove anything. I love you just the way you are. And when he said that, it was such a relief because I felt like, he had because he told me he came from Colombia. He was an immigrant. He learned English, being a busboy, got his master's degree, created a great life for us. And then what was I going to do? You know what I mean? So I always felt like I had to do more
right.
to please him. And that was the root of my adrenaline addiction. And many people suffer from that. It's not really about the success, because the people I work with already are at that the corporate people are already at that level of success. And
Mhm.
then the entrepreneurs, they're either working a full-time job trying to start a business and they're trying to get to that next level of success and they don't see a way around it besides just like going, and I'm like, it's not about going. We're human beings. That's our
Mhm.
job title, being. And if we sacrifice that, eventually we'll compromise our health and well-being and we won't be able to do anything.
Wow. All right. A, I didn't know that you could actually burn out your adrenal glands. That is terrifying. Like I don't know what that would actually like. Oh my gosh, that's scary. B, your dad must have that must have been an incredible moment together because for him to be able to go, oh, wait, I see why she's done this. And let me just give her this one message because this is really important. That must have been kind of like a life-changing pivot at that moment, I would think. What was that
Yeah.
like for you to?
And I have to say, being an entrepreneur is like being an alcoholic that's a bartender.
Oh, you're so right.
So, like, I am in recovery,
Yeah,
not recovered. You know how alcoholics say one day at a time,
right.
adrenaline addicts. And when I say
Yes.
adrenaline addict, because I wrote a book, Confessions of Adrenaline Addict, I don't mean bungee jumping and skydiving. I mean the addiction to constant activity and to
Yes.
think that the more you do, the more you're worth. For me,
Right.
or whatever your fill in
Yeah.
the blank sentence is. But when
Oh,
my dad said that to me, and he, when I get back into the adrenaline mode, he'll say it to me again. Right now, I'm also getting my doctorate degree
oh
in
my.
organizational leadership. And I really set a clear intention when I started my degree that my health and balance and well being was going to be a priority. So I got a life coach, a therapist, went back to yoga, started meditation, recommitted to outdoor exercise. I did everything I know for
Yeah.
self care and well being so that
Yes.
I have the cup full so that when I'm depleting it with work and school and life,
Yeah.
that I have some storage in there.
That's incredible. That's really smart because, and I don't think that's something you might have been able to do before because you didn't
Right.
like uh, all right, I have so many things going in my head now, but
I know. Me too.
um so many. Oh gosh. All right, so it, it feels like because I think I'm still in that adrenaline thing. And it often feels like it's a maybe that I can't even be coherent now. It's so much going in the head. All right. So as far as like being the bartender, the alcoholic, this same type of thing here, I'm building a retreat center for entrepreneurs, right? So that they will have this experience of having that, at least a temporary unplug and detox and just breathe and all that. And yet still every single day, I'm like up against that, that internal pressure, like if I'm not productive, I've wasted a day, or man, there's so many things I need to be doing, I can't possibly get it all done, so I should at least try to get as much as I can get done each day, right? That craziness that goes on. I love that you went through all that, you come to here, I want to do this doctorate, and I know my tendencies, so I'm going to pre-build in this self-care. Like you have appointments, you have things, that you will honor because it's on your list, right? But now you're doing it and it's good for you. That's brilliant.
And what I recommend people do, because we think of time management, but there's also energy management.
Mm,
I have a rule, schedule it in your calendar, see it in your life. And so on Sunday night, I schedule my self-care first.
ah,
I schedule my meditation. I schedule my yoga. I schedule my breath work. I schedule everything that my walks with my dog on the beach. Like everything is scheduled. And if I don't schedule it first, then what happens? Let's talk a little bit about the adrenal glands so we
yeah.
understand. So we have a central nervous system. There's a sympathetic system that's fight or flight. It's only supposed to be used, the adrenals, if there's a saber-toothed tiger and you're protecting yourself, or say a kid is running to the street, you get the super strength to be able to get it out. But if you have the super strength all the time, then you're operating like this. And not
Yes.
only did I burn out and end up in the hospital, but I was getting panic attacks. I
Uh-huh.
wasn't able to sleep at night.
Hmm.
I had so much cortisol from the adrenals in my belly that people were asking me if I was pregnant because
Hmm.
it was pooching out my belly so much because of the cortisol,
Yeah.
right? The opposite side is the parasympathetic system. What is
Okay.
the function of that? Rest and digest. So if you're having trouble sleeping at night, if you're having trouble digesting food, doctors will try to identify, like diagnose the symptom of it
Hmm.
rather than the root cause, which is
Hmm.
your behaviors and your
Right.
belief system. So above the behavior is the belief system.
Yeah.
System, Sue, is that you have this retreat coming up, and if you don't live your lifetime in a day and do everything today, it's not going to get done. But that's
Hmm.
not the truth. What I say to my clients and to myself every morning is, what are the top three things that I can do today to move my business forward?
Hmm.
I focus, like today before this, I had an important meeting for strategic referrals. Oh, that's ease and grace. So instead of going out there and hustling, she's gonna get me to the right people. Success with ease and grace. How can I work smarter, not harder? Strategic
Hmm.
referrals, right? And so just asking yourself those things. And then I use like a project management system. There's Basecamp, there's Monday, Asana, and realize that you can only do so much. So I have a rule of thumb, I can only have three projects. And since I'm in school, I can't do my podcast. So my podcast is on hold. So I don't overcommit,
Hmm.
because your ego that's not your amigo will have distractions like procrastination, perfectionism, overscheduling,
Hmm.
imposter syndrome, and negative Nelly, the negative
Hmm.
self. So those are the five distractions of the ego. So you have to protect yourself from that by scheduling your self care in your calendar, knowing that if you focus on your top priorities, your income producing activities, you will get more done in less time. And you'll be like, oh, wow. I used to
Hmm.
work when I first started my small business because there's no sign on the door when you're an entrepreneur. So I would never stop working. There would be no hours. And I
Right.
realized in my recovery that I had to set hours. Okay, I start at 9, I end like around 6 or 7, but I take a 2 hour lunch. I never
Mm.
would take a lunch. Now I take a 2 hour. First
Woo.
it was a half an hour, then it was an hour. Now it's a 2 hour because I work out at lunch.
Mm.
I don't, that's non-negotiable. When you look at presidents of the United States, maybe it's not a good example right now, but they exercise. When you see a lot of the healthy presidents, they would go
Mhm.
for a run. Like if
Mhm.
somebody that's running the world has time to go for a run, we have to schedule time for that.
That's amazing. And it's so funny because I know my schedule. Like if I have something on my schedule, it will happen. If I
Hmm.
neglect somehow, like if a call pops up and I didn't manage to get it on the schedule and set the alarm, like it won't happen, right?
Right.
Same thing. Like I think that why is it that entrepreneurs are so hesitant to book that stuff for themselves as well?
I think because of the hustle culture that says, you know, you have a limited time and you've got to do everything now, and you're wasting time. And there's a feeling with entrepreneurship that you're always behind. And it's
Yes.
because when we first start our business, we're doing every department. We're the
Hmm.
CEO, we're the CTO, we're the COO, we're the CMO. Now I got to do social media too. I got to do this, I got to do that. And because we at first we don't have a team, we don't have
Hmm.
a staff. So if you're doing everything yourself, you're doing 10 jobs. So
Hmm.
yes, there will be. And what I say at the end of the day is I follow the four agreements. Did I do my best today? If it's
Hmm.
yes, great. If I didn't, how can I do better tomorrow? Okay, well, let me meditate tomorrow. I missed that meditation. Because
Hmm.
believe it or not, when you go within and even take, if you don't like to meditate, you could do like on YouTube, they have breath work where you can just do the 4 by 6 breath, and they have a little
Mm.
motion thing that you can breathing in for 4, hold, breathe out. Do you know the Navy does that
Really?
to be able to handle stress during warfare?
That's
Because
amazing.
what it does is it shifts you from sympathetic stress to parasympathetic calm. And if
Mm.
you're in a crisis situation, the person that's calm and strategic is going to make better decisions. And don't we want to be calm and strategic in our entrepreneurial journey? Or
I
do we
would
want
think
to
so.
be reactive and panicked? Because if
Right.
you're in sympathetic system, you're going to be panicky and reactive and make decisions out of fear. Whether when you're calm and strategic, you make decisions out of, you know, calmness, focus.
Yeah. It's a much more
Discernment.
resourceful state too, I think, if we can be calm. What, so why is it so hard? Like we all want that, I think. We all want that sense of, things come with ease and I'm not overworking, I'm not pushing all the time. And yet part of our brains are also like, you take a day off. Like I took the whole weekend, I didn't do anything. There's a big part of my brain going, really? Like, look at that list is not going to handle itself, that type of thing. Or we'll have that feeling of if you do take a break, like, oh no, what if I can't get back up? Like I sat down for a second. What happens now? Do you have any answers for that?
Yeah, I actually, when I first started practicing, like one of the principles in my book is the power of now. And
Mhm.
one of the ways that I stop from being overwhelmed is instead of saying what's next, is I say what's now. So
Mhm.
when I'm on your podcast, I put my full attention, mindfulness, totally only thinking about how I can serve your audience, how
Mhm.
I can say something that will transform their life. Just one little idea that's going to move the needle so that you, the listener, can act differently so that you can have a higher quality of life and hopefully live longer.
Mhm.
Right. So that, that's my intention. When it comes to the monkey mind, the ego, not your amigo, it's always like I call it my inner CEO. It's always going to say, oh, really? You're going to go for a break right now? You still have this to do. You still have that to do. But what's going to happen is, and this is science, you could read the book, The Power of Full Engagement by Tony Schwartz and Jim Lohr. They did research studies of peak performance athletes, Olympians.
Mhm.
And they found that the difference between someone getting a medal, bronze, silver, gold, they're seconds away from the bronze and somebody that misses it. It
Mhm.
wasn't how hard they trained, it was how much rest and recovery they had.
Wow.
Because the body and the mind needs rest and recovery. And think if you've ever gone to a trainer at the gym, they say, we want you to do 3 to 4 days a week of training. They don't say do 7 days a week. If you do 7 days a week, you're going to get injured. You're going to
Mhm.
be in pain. You're going to burn out. You're not going to be consistent. In order to build the muscle, you actually need to rest. So, what I do is I do work Saturday. Not the whole day, but I work 2 or 3 hours. But Sunday is my sacred day off. And I religiously won't do anything. A business, somebody emails me, texts me about business, I ignored it. And then I'm able to go Monday and be totally invigorated, energized. Whereas if I would have worked the whole weekend, then I'm like, oh, because I never got a chance to like decompress,
Mhm.
revitalize, rejuvenate. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, I think it does. I think it still feels scary for, to rest though. Like again, theoretically, it should all come back. You should be great on Monday if you took the weekend and all that. But there is that real fear or real feeling of fear that like, if I stop, like if I'm out of motion, if I stand still, am I going to be able to get that momentum going again?
And that's from the mindset that motion
Hmm.
is productivity,
Hmm.
right? Where that's not necessarily the reality. The
Right.
reality is in the stillness, in the mindfulness, that's when you can have, I call it a divine download, where you can have that $1 million idea of your next product or your next service.
Hmm.
Or I can't tell, well, we'll talk about the yoga experience later, but I can't tell you how many ideas have come to me when I just, like yesterday, I have like a speaking engagement, like a major one, and then I'm leaving for a residency for a week to another country. And I could have been working. I could have been working on my book, working on the speech yesterday, but I went to yin yoga and a sound bath. And during the time of the sound bath, I unwound all of the crazy thoughts, all of the all the questions and the fears that were in my brain, that today when I'm going to make decisions in my business, I feel from abundance consciousness, not
Mm,
scarcity consciousness,
mhm,
because I cleared it out. We
mhm,
wouldn't leave files open on our computer
mhm,
because it'll slow down our operating system.
mm,
So if we don't close the files, the Zoom's not going to act right. Our computer's not going to act right. We wouldn't leave trash, we would take it out. So
mm,
we need to let go and take out the trash of our brain. We need to empty it out. And
mhm,
when I say our mind chatter, the limiting beliefs, the negative thoughts, and
mhm,
you will find by actions. So don't believe me that I'm saying it. And yes, the ego that's not your amigo wants you to do things the same way
mhm,
because it is by default full-time job to keep you safe and in the comfort zone. When you do something that's different, there's going to be the illusion of fear, but
mhm,
fear can also feel like excitement. It's the
mhm,
same feeling in the body. It's your heart starts racing, you get this expectancy, and you
mhm,
could label it fear or you could label it excitement. Oh, this is exciting that I'm doing
mhm,
something a new way. And then you'll see the results. I have seen such a difference in my business. When I was working 12 hours a day and burnt out, I was not more productive or more abundant. When I've been resting and rejuvenating and really taking care of myself, I am a model for my business. I'm a spokesperson and a brand ambassador for Success with Ease and Grace. I can't be Success with Ease and Grace when I'm a Tasmanian devil,
right.
frenetic.
Right. Oh, that's great. That's such a good visual. I love that. I think that's huge and it's actionable, which is really cool. So people
Want to hear
just,
something crazy, Sue? When I
yeah.
was in my adrenaline addiction, I really felt, you guys know what the Tasmanian devil was, like this crazy character, and it has kind of like this energy of like just dust around it. I
Yeah.
was like waiting online for something, and this homeless person came up to me and says, "You're a Tasmanian devil."
Oh
And I was
no.
like, "Oh my God." I was like, "Oh my God." And
That's
I'm like,
oddly specific.
"Oh, you're right. They are right." Yeah.
Oh
I
my
was like, you could
gosh.
see my energy. I was like, you're actually,
Wow.
you're right.
That's so funny. Oh my gosh. Wow. All right. So people come to you and they're at that point. How do they work with you? What does it look like? Is it 6 month, 12-month coaching, one-on-one group? Like, what's it like?
Right. Well, I work a lot with organizations. So, like, I'll
Mm-hmm.
go into Netflix or I'll go into Google and I'll do a talk on growth mindset, or I'll do a
Mm-hmm.
talk on your imposter syndrome, or I'll do a talk on overcoming burnout. And then people work with me. It's usually 6 months. Not only do I do mindset coaching, but I also do neurolinguistic programming.
Mm-hmm.
So, NLP, which was made popular by Tony Robbins, but really was a study of, um, the top therapists of the time, Virginia
Mm-hmm.
Satir and Milton Erickson, and why were they having so much success with their clients where other people were in therapy forever? And it was because the therapists were working at the subconscious. So a lot of times, because my clients consciously can understand the idea of working smarter, not harder, we get to the subconscious limiting belief. Like my subconscious limiting belief was, I'm not worthy. I need to prove myself to be worthy. And I was associating degrees and credentials and certificates with validation. And
Mm-hmm.
it was erroneous, right? So, what I help people do is find out what is the root cause of their behavior. And then
Mm-hmm.
I help them clear it at the
Mm-hmm.
subconscious level. And oftentimes it is not even their belief, it's somebody in their family's belief, or it
Mm-hmm.
can even be an ancestral belief,
Mm-hmm.
or it could be a collective consciousness, hustle culture, bro belief that they
Mm-hmm.
took on. And we clear that. And then when we clear that, not only does it improve their ability to perform, but it also improves their relationships. So I've had many people that I've worked with them, on business, but then they ended up getting married. So I have officiated weddings for 6 of my clients.
No way.
No, 8. 8. And I
Oh my
just got asked
gosh.
for a ninth one this week. Yeah. So I
Wow.
don't do it as a business. I just do it for fun.
Yeah.
It's
But
just
how
so
cool. I mean,
so
that's,
wonderful. And they're not like looking for love necessarily, but when you align
yeah,
rather than hustle and you're in a place of peace rather
right.
than in a place of pushing, and
Hmm.
it's frustrating because a lot of entrepreneurs are trying to push or
Hmm.
pull to make their business happen. And when you're doing that, you're literally closed, pushing it.
Mm.
You're not open and receptive to opportunities that are for you. I cannot tell you that when I started meditating, breath work, yoga, just calming down my nervous system, how there were opportunities that were right in front of me, but I couldn't see them because
Hmm.
the adrenaline mind, the go, 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 do, hustle, hustle is going like this.
Yeah,
So it's always because it's on guard. It's
sure.
protecting itself. It's
Over vigilant. Yeah.
right. Yeah, it's hyper vigilant.
Hmm.
When you're in the calm mode, you're like, oh, I see it right there in the periphery. You never saw it before. That opportunity is right there.
That's amazing. That's so cool. And I mean, having 9 requests to do your people's wedding, like this is not just an incidental, oh, by the way, sometimes this happens. Like this, that's very interesting. Not that it needs to go in your sales copy, but oh my goodness, that is really cool.
Fringe benefit of alignment is
Yeah.
when you align yourself and reduce your stress and
Mhm.
improve your business, you increase your revenue, you also increase your just magnetism,
Yeah.
you
Oh,
know.
that's really cool. Oh my gosh. All right. So let me ask you this then. After people work with you, what I mean, other than some getting married and, like what are some other examples of like that make you just really, really happy and proud of what you did with them?
Well, I have a client I'm just thinking of, we'll call her Desiree, and she was really timid about speaking, public
Mhm.
speaking, because part of the tools that I help people with are public speaking to be able to promote their business, right? And so in her business, she was scared to speak. English was her second language, and she was judging herself for her accent and this or that. And when I work with her, we realized that when she was like 7 years old and she went to speak and say something, there was an incident that happened and it blocked her from
Mhm.
that. And what we did in 2 sessions took about 3 hours. We cleared it, and now she's the president of Rotary. She's the president of this association, and she's actually stepping out to be able to lead her team better and speak. Because before she was kind of biting her tongue, and now she's able to speak up and be in her power and not feel like she doesn't have a voice. So that was like an amazing experience with her. I worked with another client who literally was stuttering,
Mhm.
um, and that was just, he stuttered, no big deal. But he wanted to have a career speaking.
Oh,
And I worked with him, and his second attempt to get public speaking, he got a $5,000 gig. And I was like, oh my God, that's so awesome.
that's amazing.
I know, I know. So it's like literally when you realize that your ego is not your amigo and that it's keeping you small,
Mm.
and you have the courage to step out and do what your soul's contract. I believe our entrepreneurial vision that we've all caught is our soul's contract, and
Mm.
that it's what we're here to do. It's not just a job. Other
Mhm.
people have jobs, they exchange time for money. We as entrepreneurs, we have a joy, it's a passion. It's our soul's contract. We live and breathe it, and that's why it's hard to stop doing it.
Mm.
Like
Mhm.
I set alarms to stop working. And now I don't have to because I have a little dog. He's a Yorkshire Terrier. He
Oh,
will shut my laptop. If I get back to adrenaline addict mode, I'll be like, this is ridiculous. And he'll shut
wow.
it. If I in the morning time when we're supposed to be cuddling, if I pick up my phone, he's like, no, it's a heart to heart meditation time, and he,
Oh.
he will let me stay in bed as long as I'm meditating. But as soon as I touch my phone, he's like, no, we got to get up then. If you're touching
Oh.
your phone, then that means we're going to go for a walk.
If you can reach the phone, you can reach for my leash.
Exactly, exactly. So he's kind of like my life coach.
Oh my gosh, that's adorable. Oh my gosh. He's a
Yeah.
little angel sent from God to keep you.
Yeah, and now, in the last couple years, because I'm so passionate about efficiency and success with ease and grace, a lot of the entrepreneurs are stressed out because they're trying to do everything. So I started teaching them how to use AI to become their team.
Right.
And I'm really excited because I created a curriculum on AI that I sold to Santa Barbara City College. And now they're going
Wow.
to be offering it as part of their extended learning. And for people that live in California, it's going to be offered free and online. And everyone that takes it is going to get a certificate and a badge. And it's the best part about it is it's going to give you everything that you need for your but not everything that you need for business, but 80% of what you need for your business
Yeah.
is
Oh,
there.
yeah. Oh, that's incredible. I love seeing that and hearing about ways that entrepreneurs have figured out how to leverage AI for actual good rather than just,
Oh yeah.
asking dumb questions or, using it. There's a lot of ways that it's just barely skimming the surface, or they'll use it and then work twice as much because now it's producing twice as much. So they don't end up using it for freedom a lot of
Yeah,
the time. And I love that. I think that's what you're doing. It's helping them.
exactly.
That's so
Exactly.
cool. Oh my gosh. What's the coolest, use of AI that you've seen or used or come up with or?
I have a contract with a particular organization and I have to do notes on each
Hmm.
client that I see, and I see quite a few clients during the week. And it
Hmm.
used to take me 30 minutes to do these notes. And I trained AI to know what the fields are for the notes. There's like 5 different questions I have to answer. And so I speak my notes. And on ChatGPT, there's a way you can turn off them using your data to train on. It's in the settings
Hmm.
under privacy. And I turn it off. So, whatever I say, it's within my own, it's not being trained in the world. And it takes me about 30 seconds to summarize what happened in the session. And
Hmm.
then it writes the full note. And that used to take me 30 minutes per client. And sometimes I would see 5 clients a day. So
Wow.
it saved me 2.5 hours that now I spend walking my dog and being outside and going to the
That's
gym
cool.
and doing yoga. So,
I love
and
that.
also, I also use it for, I'm looking for scholarships for school. So
Hmm.
I've been able to create GPTs to help me with scholarships. I created a template for proposals that I do.
Hmm.
I also created a template for what else was I doing? Oh, speeches.
Mm.
So because I speak to my AI rather than typing in it, it knows me. In fact,
Hmm.
when I was moving, it says, "Are you going to take your dog to Vino?" I'm like, "Why would I not take my dog?" And then I'm like, "Why am I talking to this AI?" I was like, it's kind of weird and creepy sometimes. But it was
Funny.
like asking me if I was going to take my dog. So I created a GPT where it knows my style of speaking because I talk to it all the time.
Hmm.
And so I'll give it the idea for the speech and then it will write it out. And I did like the most amazing speech with that, where it was like a 6-minute talk. And I had my iPad with a teleprompter. It's a free app. And I put the speech on there and I gave such a speech. People didn't even know I was looking at it. And
Wow.
I've been able to get follow-up work from that one 6-minute speech. So talk
That's
about
amazing.
more with less effort. One more good AI tip is there's a wonderful AI tool called Gamma.app. So because I teach at the university, we teach 8 hours on Zoom, which
Oh,
is difficult. And they gave me like a PowerPoint presentation and it's very boring and dry. And so what I do is I recreate based on the objectives that the school has. I create an outline and then the outline I put it in Gamma and Gamma makes the entire slide deck.
wow.
It used to take me 2 days to like
Of
make
course.
a deck. And now I can spend that time with my dad who has Parkinson's, and I'm able to spend quality years of his life with him instead of working on a slide deck.
I love
I
that.
would be in the house working on this PowerPoint the entire weekend.
Yeah. Oh, sure.
We're out at a concert together because
Right.
we have this AI tool. So
I
talk about
love that. That's beautiful. You're creating freedom. That's really awesome.
And
Oh
by
my
the way, if
gosh.
your listeners want, I have a free 11-page resource guide on
Oh,
the
yeah.
on it's 11 pages divided in sections.
Okay.
Everything but financial, because I don't use AI for financial, because I don't like to put my financial data in AI, but
Yeah.
everything else. So I'll give you a link where they can get my 11-page guide.
Oh, love it.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Or I love that so much. All right, we have to get to the thing of the stand-up paddleboarding. You've got to tell me about this.
Oh, so, in learning about entrepreneurs gone wild, some of the wild things that I was doing during the pandemic, which was a very interesting time for me. First, as an adrenaline addict, being still,
Mm.
having like going from full speed ahead, like at networking meetings every night, going here, going there, like constantly being out of the house, to
Mhm.
being in the house for 2 years. It healed me so much. I
Mm.
don't think I would be as happy or as peace, because I had to face myself and all of my, I don't want to say demons, but all of my limiting beliefs, all of my negative self talk, because I lived alone. I did not have a dog, and I worked from home.
Oh
And
boy.
I was isolating from my family. My mom's boyfriend got COVID during the pandemic and ended up passing away.
Oh
My
gee.
dad was in the hospital with a heart attack. My uncle was in the hospital with COVID for a year and was intubated, and thank God
Gosh.
survived in his 80s. So both my dad
Wow.
and my uncle in their 80s survived everything, and
Oh,
it's a
wow.
miracle that they are alive today. We're just
Yeah.
thinking about that. But during that time, it really got me to love nature. And I
Mm.
was doing coaching sessions like from a lifeguard, like, because I moved to the beach during the pandemic. That was the only thing I could do. But at first, being an adrenaline addict, I resisted being at home. And what you resist persists, right? So when I resisted it, I sprained both ankles.
Oh no.
Because I was thinking, oh, during the pandemic, I'll get to run and I'll get to really, get back into shape, because I'm going to be running on the beach and blah, 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 blah. But like, it was almost like spirit wanted me to be still and wanted
Mhm.
me to process all the feelings I was going through and the fear, what was going to happen with my business.
Mhm.
Because I was actually speaking at that time. I had just spoke at a plastic surgeon conference, and like Chris Jenner was speaking
Oh
after
wow.
me, and I got to speak to all these plastic surgeons, and I was invited to Monaco and Medellin, Colombia,
Wow.
and Italy, and all these great international gigs all canceled. And I was like, oh my God, my career's over. What am I going to do? And I quickly pivoted to do virtual online training, and was able to get paid equal as
Mm.
much money, but being at home barefoot,
Right.
working from home. I was like, ever since then, I really haven't gone back to getting on planes and traveling and speaking. I've
Yeah.
just been making money from home with no
Amazing.
with no
It's
show. But to the paddleboarding. So one day I was walking on the beach, because our ego's not our amigo, but you know who is your amigo? Your intuition, your intuitive guidance system, that gut feeling that Oprah Winfrey, billionaire entrepreneur, says that the only time she didn't succeed in business was when she didn't listen to her intuition. She said this on her podcast about 2 weeks ago. She was interviewing another expert, Laura, on her intuitive guidance, right? And she was like, if when I didn't listen to my intuition, so I listened to my intuition, it guided me to go for a walk on the beach. It was very hard to walk with two sprained ankles, but I was walking very limited. It's probably why I didn't heal as fast as I could. I walked a little bit, but I'm like, what exercise could I do without moving my legs? And I saw these people paddleboarding, and I had done windsurfing before, but I had never done paddleboarding. But I thought, oh, I could even go on my knees and just
Mhm.
paddle. And I saw that they were doing yoga on the paddleboard, and I was like, oh my God, this is epic. And I just took one class, and I just was like, oh my God, this is bliss. It was like sunset, and we were on the water, and there were little fish popping out of the water, and there were birds chirping, and I felt like I was in a Disney
Wow.
movie, and I was Moana, and
Yeah,
I was
really.
looking for the rock, and it was just like amazing. And I remember one time we were doing the yoga which I can't tell you how calming to the nervous system yoga. Do you know what yoga is really for? In the
Mm,
United States, in the Western culture, we've kind of bastardized what yoga is supposed to be in India.
yeah.
Yoga is union. It's aligning your mind and body so that you can get in a state of meditation. It's to
Hmm.
prepare you to meditate. And the
Wow.
last pose in the series that you do is called Shavasana, which is when you meditate for that last couple minutes of class. And
Hmm.
I can't tell you, during the pandemic, there was a time in California where they closed everything, even the beaches. I don't know how
Jesus.
we were the only ones able to be there. So there was no kids screaming, there was no sounds of plates with the restaurants. It was just nature.
Mm.
And just to lay on the board and feel the beating of my heart to align with the water,
Hmm.
and it was just blissful. It like there because you're so relaxed after we would do 30 minutes of paddling and then do like 60 minutes of yoga, and then we would lay there. And it was in the laying in stillness, being in the now, being present, that I wouldn't even ask. I would just get these downloads of answers to the problems in my business. Oh, don't worry about this. You can offer this. My whole idea to go virtual was from
Hmm.
a divine download. My During the day when I was working and hustling, my brain was like, that's it. Fear
Hmm.
mode. It's over. You better just get a day job. I was looking for jobs. I'm like, you've been an entrepreneur for 28 years. There's no way you're employable. I was like looking for jobs. I'm like, no, I can't do that. No, I can't do that. No, I can't do that. And then when I was just in the divine download, it's like, why don't you offer your webinars on Zoom? And since I've been doing that, that's how I have this whole contract with Pasadena City College. I got a gig in the pandemic with Pasadena City College, Santa Barbara City College, Long Beach City College, Weave, which was this other. I got 4 contracts that I've been facilitating online training, all online, barefoot,
Amazing.
not
Barefoot.
even wearing pants, in shorts, barefoot, making the money that I want to make and having the quality of life where I don't just live on the beach. I get to go to the beach,
Right, right. It's
walk
not just
on
something
the
you see
beach,
through your window.
right?
That's
So it's
amazing.
just like such a blessing.
That's so cool. I love that so much, man. Well, that's fantastic. I wish we had more time. All right, where can people find out more about working with you? Like, all of that.
Just my website, which is my name, deborahderas.com. Yeah,
That's
you can
easy.
find, yeah, very easy. You could just go there, sign up for my newsletter. I have a lot of online events. I teach AI, time management, stress management. And because I have partnerships with a lot of these community colleges, some of the online classes are no cost.
Wow,
Yeah. So
that's
that's
amazing.
yeah. And then, if you know of any organizations that would want to bring me in to speak, just let me know.
That's great. That's awesome. And are your books on Amazon or can we find them on your site?
Yes, I prefer you to buy them on my site, which is deborahderas.com. Confessions of an Adrenaline Addict is out. You can order that directly from me. I would prefer it. Please support small businesses, not Amazon. I basically get zero from Amazon.
Yeah.
And I also, my new book, Your Ego is Not Your Amigo, How to Tune Into Your Intuitive Guidance System. It's going to be a 21-day journey to
Oh.
actually practical steps
Hmm.
on how to hear your intuition. Because most people say, well, if my ego is not my amigo, who do I listen to? Your guide, your intuitive
Mm.
guidance. Just like we have a GPS in the car, we have an IGS right here that guides us. And I teach you how. And
That's great.
eventually that's going to be an app because most people don't carry books around, but they
Right.
carry their phone around. So I'm going to make it into an app so you can use it.
Very cool. I love that idea. That's so cool.
That
Thank you
was a
so
divine
much.
download from being still.
There you go.
I can't take
Amazing
credit for
things.
any of my brilliant ideas. They're all downloads. You
I
see,
love it.
your genius potential is when your super conscious mind is activated, and it's only activated when you're in peace and
Love
stillness.
that. That's so good. Man, I hope you'll come back. This is
Yeah,
really cool.
I would love to. Thank you for having
Wonderful.
me.
Thank you so much for being here. I really enjoyed this.